Well, welcome back to Detroit Garage. We're working on bent metal today. It's a 1948 Diamond T 509S. And previous videos I've talked about the patina and whatnot and extending the cab. So what I've got to do now, I'm going to work on the cab, extend this 20 inches that way. So put a 20-inch plug in. So before I do that, I have to remove the doors and then brace the cab with angle iron inside, just to give it some rigidity. And then I'm going to pull this panel off and change it out for the 37 Diamond T. It's in really good shape, and it's got the rear window in it still, so that's what we'll do. Get that set up, and then I get an idea of the work on the patina, you know, in future. So I'm going to pull this trim piece off, and the trim pieces on the inside have to come off as well. I guess at one point in time it did have upholstery in it, so we'll take these trim pieces off instead of just cutting them. The cut will be in here somewhere. I'll yank the doors off and then start pulling this out and then brace it all up. All right, I learned something new. In the 40s, they spot welded the cabs together. See all these spot welds? Even though they had that trim, they spot welded the cab. So all the way along here. On the 30s cabs, they bolted them. They're not welded, see? They're just nailed together with this trim piece. And this piece is bolted on. Some differences there. So now I've got to drill out all these spot welds to get this piece off. Okay, I've drilled out most of the spot welds, and now I'm just kind of removing this top tin off. All right, so I've drilled out most of these. It gets into some nasty rusty stuff, and it's very hard on the drill bit. So what I'm gonna do is cut up here with the grinder and then just make a seam across here and then run that cut right across the roof there. And then that way I could pull this top cap off and expose the rest of the cab. So the filler on the top will go at this seam, and then once this is off, I'll cut from here down and put the filler in here. So that'll work really good. There. That really exposes the structure of the cab. I've got to get all these spot welds out. And you can see how that's bent. Got hit from the back. It's all bowed in. So I'll pull this off next, and then I'll brace up the cab and then cut this piece off here. All right, it's all braced up, nothing fancy, just 1/8 by 1 inch angle iron. I don't know if I had to do that, but just in case the cab does decide to twist when I cut those rear pieces off. Highly doubt it, but hey, better to be safe than sorry. So now I'm gonna mask this off at the back here and cut it. Okay, there it is, all cut. Looks like there's some spot welds on the bottom. Anyway, we got the back of the cab off. So I'll drag it off up against the 37 and then have a good look at it. Alright, well, I'll have a think on this whether or not I want to unhook these bolts, unbolt the bolts, and then move this back as well. I might do that. And then I have to notch this out slightly because this is higher than that, so yeah, no, I like it. Well, that gives you an idea. That cab is extended 19 inches. It gives me a 12-foot 6 bed. So that'll work out perfect, I think. So I'll drag it outside and then have a good look at it, see what it looks like. Looks like I'm gonna have to get rid of the cab, the 37 and the tote. So I'll do that in the coming next day or so. But for now, I'll drag it outside and have a quick look. Well, there it is. That's a 19-inch stretch. Gives me a 12-foot 6 bed on it. And that would look really nice. It looks kind of goofy now, but once I get the filler in there and put a window in, it'll look pretty nice. And then of course the fenders are going to be wider, and then it's going to be dropped another couple of inches. So it'll look long and low. Yeah, I got to get rid of this to square everything up, but gives me a good idea of what I'm faced with. Yeah, I gave this a 19-inch extension so that somebody can sit in a jump seat here. Put a jump seat here and a jump seat there, like a Dodge LE cab. So I'll get rid of all this stuff off of here, and I think that'll look really nice. It'll look proportionate. I've only seen one other rig on the road like this on YouTube. I'm not trying to copy his idea, but it did give me the idea, so I'm gonna run with it. I've seen crew cabs and some extended cabs, so yeah, I'm really liking this, guys. I think that's going to look really good. It's going to make the truck look lower and longer with these wide. Once I extend these fenders out, it's going to kind of look silly if the cab's not lengthened. So yeah, I like it. So that pretty much does it for this video. The next video, I'm going to be welding in the reinforcements for the cab extension. We're going to move this over to there, build the frame up for the cab, do some reinforcements for it. The B pillars, there's really nothing there, so I want to make a little bit of rollover protection just in case. And there's nothing in this cab for strength, so a fair amount of work and a lot more work to go. Well, there you have it for this video, guys. Like I said, the next video will do the reinforcement for the cab extension and whatnot. So yeah, lots of fun. And again, thanks for checking in. We'll catch you on the next video. Take care.